Matters, the Law Society of Kenya has faulted the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, that is IPOA, for its sluggish investigation of police brutality and extrajudicial killings cases, warning that such delays could be perceived as a neglect of duty. And as Samira Mohammed reports, the lawyers slammed members of parliament for what they termed as disregard for human life, following their comments on the BBC investigative documentary named Blood Parliament.
Yet again, the Independent Police Oversight Authority has hit the headlines.
IPOA has overstretched the grace and patience of the Kenyan public, and we hereby put the authority on notice that they run the risk of being liable for refusal to act in accordance with their mandate.
The Law Society of Kenya now backing the pressure groups in decrying the inaction and slow pace of investigation by the Independent Police Oversight Authority into the killings by security officers.
This statistic is not only underwhelming, it is well near proof of dereliction of duty. In such times, laxity, complacency, and lack of urgency are tantamount to complicity.
In their remarks following the airing of the BBC documentary dubbed Blood Parliament and the recent killings in Angata Barakoi on Monday, the lawmakers have faulted the Independent Police Oversight Authority for its sluggish handling of police brutality cases, warning that such delays could be perceived as a neglect of duty.
Unfortunately, and for reasons not disclosed by the authority, nearly a year later, only 6 of the investigations have been completed and escalated to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions and/or the courts.
The body wants the government to properly probe the killings dating back to the last year's Gen Z protests, where several young Kenyans were killed by people suspected to be police officers. They further called on the National Police Service and the IPOA to immediately take legal actions against police officers implicated in extrajudicial killings in the country.
The national security organs, especially the police, have an obscure understanding of their allegiance, which lies with the nation and the constitution, not with regimes or their leaders.
The Law Society of Kenya further weighed in on the deadly Narrow clashes, where 5 people were killed following a dispute between the residents and officers that saw police boss Douglas Kanja directing the immediate transfer of senior police officers in the area, a move that has been downplayed by the team of advocates, noting that reassigning an officer elsewhere is not a solution as opposed to prosecution.
Just trying to cover up the problem, we call upon investigation of all those officers that were involved. Colleagues who are found culpable must be held accountable. IPOA should move in immediately, get statements, arrest those officers involved. The transfer does not give back life. We want justice for those victims, and justice requires that they be prosecuted as provided under the law.
Leading a team of advocates investigating the spate of killings in the country during the Gen Z protests, LSK President Faith Odhiambo has called out members of parliament for their remarks following the airing of BBC investigative piece dubbed Blood Parliament. Odhiambo termed the MP's remarks as reckless and a disregard to human life.
We are perturbed by the insensitive and thoughtless remarks that have been made by members of political class. Comments of the Member of Parliament for Mandera North, Mr. Bashir, while addressing Parliament, where he dismissed the killings of Kenyans and suggested that Kenyans and the world should move on.
Samira Mohammed, for TV 47, Nairobi.